I'm going to go find him. I can't wait for I can't watch another box of condoms expire. They're not like milk. They don't go bad that fast. What I've done so far hasn't worked, in part because I have no idea what I'm doing. In school, other kids flirted and dated. I studied. As an adult, I've thrown myself in my work, and now, at 47, I really need to figure this out. I don't want to cross the finish line of the game of life with one sad pink peg in my car. So, where can you meet men seems to be the starting point. The experts will tell you that the answer is anywhere and everywhere. Okay, if you have mad skills, sure. Or if you're stunning beauty, then I bet you can meet men anywhere. For the inherently awkward, it's difficult. And as people age, the baggage gets heavier and the potential fall seems further. No one wants to break their hip and their heart at the same time. I have tried internet dating. It's pretty low stakes. It's just that the profiles are practically indistinguishable from one another. I mean, most men claim that they're positive and fun-loving. They also seem to universally like movies, travel, and wine. Who doesn't? Do they also like puppies and chocolate? I really want to know helpful information, like, does he believe in evolution? Vaccination. Is he able to reason logically and still understand both his own emotions and those of others? Is he willing to be my emergency contact? That's the kind of thing I think is going to be really important long term. I can pick a pair of shoes from a picture, but I can't pick a man that way. What can you tell from a picture? I mean, I've met really good-looking men that were really boring. Handsome's nice, but it's not enough. You need chemistry. And for that, crackle electricity, you really need to meet in person. So in an effort to boost my chances of actually meeting someone in person, I turned once again to the experts. While the experts do offer that personal growth is a good long-term strategy, they also offer some concrete and practical tips. Growing my hair out, I wear dresses more often, and I learned to play golf. And still nothing. So I asked my happily married girlfriend where she met her husband, and she said they met on Craigslist. I thought, great, I'm going to meet me a husband on Craigslist. I mean, that's where I went when I thought I needed a dining room table. So my knowledge of Craigslist was limited to furniture shopping and the Craigslist killer. But they caught that guy, right? So it's probably fine. I went to the personals and I set my filters for my age range and my geographic location. And I was treated to a pervert parade, the likes of which I've never seen. It was delightful. Any number of men have posted pictures of their penises. I've seen more penises on Craigslist than I have in real life. I didn't really understand how you're supposed to recognize these guys in a coffee shop. Post pictures of their faces. Listen, your picture gets mine, or my picture, yeah, that's how they say it. I'm not sending my face to your penis. That's ridiculous. And before you judge me, imagine you're alone with your computer and you see a profile that's labeled hum and pick. Well, what girl who's waiting around for Mr. Right isn't going to be dying of curiosity? And not to play the double standard card, but if the profile had said, big tits and pick, no one would even ask the question, why'd you click on that? And to be well, I also thought, well, this is one way, since I have kind of relatively limited experience, that I could get some basis for comparison. You know, like, so if I ever hit the jackpot, I'll actually know it. Although I did see a film with John Holmes once. It must have been near the end of his career because it was huge, but lifeless. I don't think that guy had enough blood in his entire body to actually get an erection. So I guess realistically what I'm hoping for is that I meet someone with really good circulation. I can also tell you, based solely on my survey of Craigslist, that at any given time in West Los Angeles, there are no fewer than 3 men between the ages of 47 and 58 who are looking for an adult breastfeeding relationship. It's exactly what it sounds like. I looked it up. People who participate in this fetish say that closeness, a feeling of closeness is the goal, and that the breastfeeding isn't necessarily sexual. Okay, I guess. But I have a couple reasons that's not for me. One, how do you explain to the people at your work that you have to pump but you don't have a baby? And 2, who has time? I barely have time to feed myself, let alone you two. Make a sandwich, lazy. About half of the men on Craigslist are looking to exchange sex acts for roses, like 200 roses. At first I was like, that's a lot of flowers. Never mind. A few men are looking to play doctor, and a couple, they offer to eat your pussy day and night. That's really sweet, but I have a job. Some men are looking for a bad girl to put over their knee. That's also about circulation, by the way. At least physiologically speaking, a spanking causes blood to run to the general area and increases sensitivity. I theorized that an ass massage would probably do the same thing and be less painful, but I guess that probably lacks the psychological zip and expedience of an unexpected swap. You may be saying to yourself at this moment, that's a lot of sex talk up front. It's too much too soon. And I take your point. However, I think it is easier to sort men by fetish than vague likes and dislikes. I mean, everybody likes the beach. Not everybody likes to be pissed on. One man was super upfront about wanting a woman who's into pegging. That's when a woman wears a dildo and performs anal sex on a man. I had to look that up too. One friend I incredulously explained this to said, well, women like penetrative sex, maybe some men do too. And I thought, oh, good point. And at least the man who wants that can say so on Craigslist. If he were on Match, he might just keep that to himself, and then after X amount of dates, be in the awkward position of having to bring that up. When's a good time to bring up pegging? Another friend said, later, always later. I don't want to peg anybody. Not really for any prudish reason, I'm just not interested, and I don't care what other people get up to as long as it's consensual. The world is wide. I guess the fetishists probably feel that if they find someone who the needle in the haystack. I don't hold out much hope that I'm going to meet my husband on Craigslist. And whether I find him or he finds me, I think we'll have to rely on good old-fashioned face-to-face interaction to get the ball rolling. It's probably easier to find out what a man thinks about politics or philosophy when you're not wearing a strap-on holding a bottle of lube. Those profiles did help me to think about relationships, though. You really have to be yourself and ask for what you need. I'm looking for the happy medium. A man who's trustworthy and reliable, and of course like movies and dinner, but is also, a little bit naughty. Someone who is, of course, a great fit in every way, and who understands that even good girls like great sex. And it wouldn't hurt if you knew how to land a well-timed smack on the ass to send the message home.